A Vegas CEO went on record saying, "You are kicking out the lowest end. I see no reason that needs to stop. Strip casinos are gutting free attractions, hiking fees, and squeezing out everyday gamblers on purpose. But with June visitation crashing by over 400,000, is this ruthless strategy making Vegas unrecognizable? And what are casinos risking by writing off their base?" The answer starts with a single quote. The corporate playbook isn't a secret. In 2023, Caesars Entertainment's chief executive officer said, "You're kicking out the lowest end. I see no reason that needs to stop." This was not a slip. It was a straight answer to Wall Street analysts pressing for higher margins and better returns. The message was clear. Casinos on the Strip are narrowing their funnel, not just welcoming high rollers, but actively turning away the everyday guest who once made Vegas buzz. Behind the scenes, the strategy is spelled out in earnings calls and investor decks. Caesars, MGM, and Wynn have all told shareholders they are done chasing volume for its own sake. Instead, every inch of the property is being retooled to maximize yield from each visitor. That means fewer low-limit tables, more space for luxury suites, and a relentless focus on guests who spend big on rooms, food, and bottle service, not just on the casino floor. Key performance indicators now track premium average daily rate, non-gaming wallet share, and high-value guest acquisition, replacing the old obsession with raw foot traffic. The logic is simple. With labor and debt costs rising, casinos believe they cannot afford to fill the halls with bargain hunters. Instead, they want to squeeze more profit from fewer, richer guests. The 2023 analyst call made it explicit. The lowest value customers are no longer worth comped perks, discounted rooms, or even a seat at the table. MGM's chief executive officer echoed this in his own calls, describing a shift away from volume for volume's sake toward optimizing the customer mix. This is not just talk. Securities and Exchange Commission filings and property maps show the physical reality. Low-limit pits and poker rooms are being replaced by upscale lounges and retail. Comp offers have been slashed for mid-tier players, and loyalty programs have been rewritten to reward only the highest spenders. The marketing funnel is now a narrow pipe, and anyone who does not fit the new profile is quietly pushed out. For decades, Las Vegas ran on the promise that anyone could be a player, even if just for a night. Now, the gatekeepers are upfront about it. If you do not pad the bottom line, you are not part of the plan. The Strip's greatest trick was always its sense of spectacle. For families, first-timers, and everyday tourists, it was not just the slot machines or card tables that pulled them in. It was the promise of wonder, free, public, and larger than life. That promise is vanishing, one headline at a time. In August 2024, the Mirage volcano erupted for the last time. For more than 3 decades, crowds gathered every night as flames shot skyward and water danced to music. It did not matter if you had a room key or a high-limit chip, everyone got a front-row seat. The volcano's demolition is not just a construction project. It is the end of a ritual that made the Strip feel open to all. The loss is not isolated. The Treasure Island Pirate Show, once a nightly battle of ships and pyrotechnics, drew throngs of visitors onto the sidewalk for free. That ended in 2013, replaced by retail frontage and velvet ropes. The space where families once pressed against the railing for a taste of adventure now sells high-end watches and cocktails. The message is clear: the show is over unless you are buying in. Even recent attractions are not spared. On January 1st, 2024, Marvel Avengers Station closed its doors for good. The interactive exhibit, a favorite for kids and comic fans, quietly disappeared after nearly 8 years at Treasure Island. Management cited the end of a lease and changing entertainment priorities. There is no replacement lined up, just another darkened corner where families used to find a slice of magic. These closures are not accidents or casualties of a slow season. They are deliberate choices made as operators chase higher margins and cut anything that does not deliver immediate profit. The old compact, cheap rooms, free shows, and a sense of shared excitement has been torn up. In its place, a paywall at every turn, and a Strip that feels less like a playground and more like a gated estate. For many, the real cost is not just measured in dollars, but in the fading sense that Las Vegas belongs to everyone. The loss of spectacle is the first thing visitors notice, and the first warning that something fundamental is slipping away. Inside the velvet ropes of the Strip's newest private salons, the fantasy is alive. Champagne pours, Dealers wait on a handful of VIP guests, and every detail is tuned for the ultra-wealthy. Suites now come with butlers and panoramic views, and the casino floor, once a noisy sea of everyday players, has been carved into pockets of exclusivity. Operators tout these changes as the future, betting that a handful of whales can bankroll the city's next chapter. But the math tells a different story. Industry data shows that for decades, the bulk of casino gaming revenue has not come from high rollers. It comes from thousands of regular gamblers, teachers, retirees, and couples on vacation, each dropping a few $100s at the tables and slots. Analyst reports and SEC filings confirm that even at the height of luxury spending, whales rarely account for more than 20% of total gaming win. The rest is volume, the steady churn of mid-tier and lower-tier guests who fill hotel rooms, buy show tickets, and keep the action going on the floor. Academic studies from UNLV and independent gaming consultants back this up. When casinos cut out the masses, the numbers crater. Private salons may generate eye-popping wins on a good night, but they cannot replace the daily grind of thousands of small bets. The so-called premiumization strategy ignores the reality that Vegas was built on scale, not just spectacle. By narrowing the funnel, operators are trading a dependable engine for a handful of lottery tickets. The risk is not just losing the crowd, it is losing the foundation that made the Strip possible in the first place. A night on the Strip now comes with a price tag that stings before you even hit the tables. Room rates advertise $89, but the bill balloons to $226 after resort fees, parking, and early check-in. Those fees climbed twice at MGM Properties in 2024, now landing between $40 and $55 per night. Early check-in alone can run $60, as one viral Flamingo guest discovered. These are not hidden costs, these are engineered to squeeze every extra dollar from each stay. The pain does not stop at the front desk. Blackjack tables, once the heart of Vegas action, have quietly rewritten the rules. The old 3-to-2 payout meant a $10 bet on blackjack paid $15. Now 6-to-5 is the standard. That same hand pays $12, 20% less, meaning the house takes a bigger cut with every win. Table minimums are up too. What used to be a $5 or $10 game now often starts at $25 or even $50, draining a casual player's bankroll in minutes. Food and drink offer no relief. Pancakes at a cafe cost $30. A single cocktail is $25. Social media fills with stories of $50 bottles of water or snack baskets that cost as much as a dinner back home. Buffets, once an affordable Vegas rite, are rare and often over $100 per person. The message is clear. The Strip's new math is not about fun or luck. It is about extracting maximum value from every guest, every minute. For the traveler on a budget, Vegas has become a gauntlet of sticker shock, where the thrill fades long before the chips run out. On the casino floor, the mood has changed. For cocktail servers and dealers, the crowds that once kept them hustling are thinning out. Shift logs that used to show 6 nights a week now list 3 or 4, if they are lucky. A veteran server describes it simply: "We used to run all night to keep up with drink orders. Now we stand around, hoping for a few big tippers. A double shift gets me half what it did before." Union surveys and university research back up the story. Tip income for Las Vegas service workers has plunged by as much as 50% compared to pre-pandemic days. Diaries from the floor tell of $300 nights dropping to barely $120, with some staff reporting that a busy weekend barely matches a slow Tuesday from just a few years ago. The drop is not just in dollars, it is in spirit. Guests arrive already frustrated by fees, sticker shock, and long lines, leaving little patience or cash for gratuities. Fewer guests means fewer orders, fewer chances to connect, and fewer tips to split. Some servers now share shifts with twice as many coworkers, each fighting for a slice of a shrinking pie. The old rhythm, constant motion, the clatter of glasses, the steady pulse of a packed house has given way to empty stretches and forced smiles. One server sums it up: "We used to run to keep up, now we stand around pretending to polish glasses." The extraction strategy that promised higher margins is hollowing out the people who once gave Vegas its energy. The fallout is not just financial, it is a loss of pride, purpose, and the sense of being part of something bigger than a balance sheet. The numbers tell a story that no marketing campaign can spin. Strip hotel occupancy has slipped to 78.9%, down more than 2 points from last year. Average daily room rates, once a point of pride for operators, have dropped to $185, a 5.5% slide that cuts straight into the bottom line. Revenue per available room, called RevPAR, has taken an even bigger hit, falling 7.6%. These are not minor fluctuations. In hospitality, a percentage point lost is millions of dollars gone. Yet on paper, total revenue is up 6.2% for 2024. That is the paradox. Casinos are charging more, layering on extra fees, and squeezing every possible dollar from guests. But beneath the surface, the foundation is cracking. Net income for the Strip has plunged 40.4% in the same period. That is not a typo. 40.4% of profit has vanished even as the cash register rings louder. The reason is simple. Higher prices and aggressive upsells cannot make up for empty rooms and missing crowds. Fixed costs, debt, utilities, and labor do not shrink just because fewer people show up. When occupancy drops and guests spend less time on property, the math turns brutal. SEC filings lay it out in black and white. Operators are spending more to chase fewer, higher-paying customers, but the volume is not there to support the machine. The result is a margin collapse that no amount of fee increases or premium offerings can hide. The Strip is running faster just to stay in place. By the end of the quarter, the treadmill is moving backward. A few miles from the Strip, the mood could not be more different. At properties like Durango and the Orleans, parking lots fill up on weeknights, and the buzz on the floor is steady. These are the locals' casinos, places built for the everyday gambler, the off-duty nurse, the retired teacher, the group of friends splitting a pitcher at the bar. Here, $5 blackjack tables are not a relic, and the breakfast special still feels like a bargain. According to recent earnings reports, some of these casinos have seen revenue jump by as much as 50% over the last year. A longtime manager at a locals property puts it simply, "We win on volume. We would rather have 1,000 people spending $20 than one person dropping $20,000. The logic is hard to miss. Packed tables and busy bars create an atmosphere that pulls people in and keeps them coming back. The excitement is contagious, the kind of energy that cannot be faked with velvet ropes or luxury branding. The contrast is sharp. While the Strip chases whales and cuts back on spectacle, locals casinos double down on accessibility and comfort. Lines move fast, staff recognize regulars, and games are designed to last, not to bleed a wallet dry in an hour. The result is a steady churn of players, each one adding to the hum that defines a real casino. This is not nostalgia. It is a business model that works. The volume approach does not just fill seats, it builds loyalty and word of mouth. And the payoff is clear. While the Strip margins shrink and rooms sit empty, the locals market is thriving, powered by the very people the big resorts have turned away. Online gambling has exploded into a $12.7 billion market in the United States this year, giving gamblers the chance to play blackjack or slots from their couch for a few dollars a hand. For many, the trade-off is clear. Skip the $226 hotel bill, the $25 cocktails, and the endless fees, and gamble on their terms instead. The Strip's old draw, buffets that welcomed everyone, has nearly vanished. There are about 8 all-you-can-eat buffets left as of March 2025. The few that remain now charge 2 or 3 times what they did just a few years ago, turning a once-affordable Vegas staple into a luxury splurge. The warning signs are not just digital. Poker Palace, a North Las Vegas fixture since 1974, closed its doors in October 2025. It survived recessions, booms, and the rise of mega resorts, but it could not outlast the shift in customer habits and the pressure from online play. That closure is more than a footnote. It is a signal that the value-driven ecosystem supporting everyday gamblers is shrinking fast. Economists at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas see more contraction ahead. Their latest outlook projects a slow retreat in visitor numbers, gaming revenue, and hotel occupancy through at least 2026. They do not expect a crash, but the days of easy growth are over. Some lawmakers are floating fixes, capping resort fees or tightening rules on private gaming salons, but those proposals face stiff resistance from casino lobbyists. The choices made now will shape whether Las Vegas remains a playground for all or becomes a gated enclave for the few. Right now, Vegas is testing how far it can push its core customers before the magic breaks. As Strip profits shrink and online gambling hits $12.7 billion, the lesson is clear. chasing whales at the expense of everyone else risks emptying more than just the casino floor. In the end, exclusivity is not loyalty. No city survives by betting against its own heart.